What's up, ItssDeno, and we are back with another reaction. Today, we got some Tommy G, the hunt for Chicago's deadliest serial killer. I don't do a lot of Tommy G videos. I catch it when I can, you feel me? Alright, like I said, we don't tune into too much Tommy G. Catch it as it pops up type deal. I fucks with Tommy G. I love the content that he does. I love that he actually gets out in the communities and talks to people, you know, try to get an inside view instead of just running off what the media thinks. Yeah, we just saw a couple seconds run off because I was fixing my audio levels, but yeah, let's make sure we are in make sure we got the best quality, and let's get into the video.
It could be the work of a serial killer.
Dozens of women who were all strangled or asphyxiated.
Hold on, chat. Knew it. I knew it. I did the whole intro without
Their cases remain unsolved.
A serial killer on the loose in Chicago.
A lady by the name of Tamala Edwards was found in 2210 in a garbage can just like this in this alley 20 years ago.
Their bodies were found in vacant lots, abandoned buildings, and alleys, dumped in garbage cans, and some...
And it's all women too, bro. Like, you're already, like, fucked up for, you know, doing this, for being a serial killer, but all women? Like, you had to, like, come on, bro. You couldn't get no man? Like, you weren't strong enough to get a man? Like, you can't just prey on, like, people that's smaller than you. Like, that's so crazy, bro. Because if it did, like, if it was happening to him, he'd be shitty, right?
Have you ever been abducted?
Yes. He killed so many women, he don't know how many.
Is there one of these killers that you think is doing the lion's share of the killing?
Yes.
And it's a team? And that nigga
episode,
just
we are
snitched.
investigating the infamous Chicago
I would.
Strangler, a killer who some experts say has taken the lives of between 50 and 70 women over a nearly 2-decade period.
That's
making this
insane,
person one of the
bro.
most prolific serial killers in America.
And it's all
the killer's
women.
MO seems to be this. He tends to hunt primarily black women, many of them who are sex workers, and he kills them by strangulation after he lures them into alleyways on the south and west sides of Chicago. The question right off the bat is this: why isn't this being discussed more? Because I'm guessing for many of you,
Exactly. Is this still going on?
I'm hearing of a guy who, to put it in perspective, may have killed 3 to 4 times more people than Jeffrey Dahmer. To properly dive into this, we assembled a cast of experts. First, Mike Hammond, a retired Chicago homicide detective who has put dozens of murderers behind bars in his career. Next, Thomas Hargrove, the founder of the Murder Accountability Project, an organization with the country's most complete accounting of unsolved murders. And Thomas is known as a guy that can algorithmically predict with a high degree of accuracy if a serial killer is in your city. Then we got Reverend Hood, a pastor and community leader who has built a network supporting survivors of strangler victims, and Reverend Hood claims to have sat face to face with the guy who is the primary suspect of this all. Next up, Rabbi Ben Yosef, a community activist demanding justice for the victims, who takes it upon himself to bring us to some of the murder sites. And finally, we even speak with a family member of a strangler victim and with Chicago citizens who live in the areas where the strangler strikes. Let's get to it.
Jay, you know what those apartments look like? Hold on. You know what these apartments look like? I don't know if that's just a style in Chicago or if... But go back in the day and go look at drill videos from like Rondo Number 9 and L.A. Capone and tell me they ain't right here. But who knows? I don't know, bro. It's probably just a style in Chicago.
We're going to meet a community leader who's been tracking down these murders, trying to bring justice to these victims and their families. In fact, we're very close to a murder site where a murder happened 20 years ago in this alley behind me, and we're going to look into that. How many of these murders are unsolved?
Pretty much.
And that's 20 years ago,
And how many
bro.
are we talking?
We're talking 51 plus.
In 2004, Tamala Edwards was murdered right here.
51?
The killer strangled her, wrapped her up in a comforter that was then tightly bound with duct tape, and placed her in a garbage can, where she eventually was discovered.
A lady by the name of Tamala Edwards
Crazy,
was
bro.
found in 2210 in a garbage can just like this
Bro, who the fuck is breathing in my ear?
in this alley 20 years ago.
Yep. The way how these murders happen is, as you just said, a graphic example of no regard for human life. To put a human life within a garbage can, to say, I'm going to do this to this person, just goes to show how horrific and how much an outcry and outrage there should be within this city.
Exactly.
What comes to mind when people say the Chicago Strangler?
I think it's more than one.
We believe that it's more than one strangler. I would have felt better if it was said mass murder, something to culminate that more than 51 women got killed.
There's certainly
Yeah, bro.
not one. We know that for sure. Because the 51, there's 21 different DNA profiles.
What the fuck? So they got a team, bro. That's crazy. They got a team of just slaughterers, just straight fucking terrible people because they're all killing women. Like, why are they all targeting women? Unless it's a group of women, but that throws that out. But I don't know, dog. Like, this shit, like, none of this makes sense. Why are you doing this?
Were asphyxiated and their bodies were left out of doors, often in abandoned buildings, empty alleyways.
I think something happens to wake that demon up that's in their crania. And once that demon is woken up, then it goes on the bend of killing women.
On the quest to build a profile of who this killer is, let's reference one of the most popular serial killer prediction frameworks, the McDonald Triad, created by psychiatrist John McDonald and used by famous serial killer hunters like Special Agent John Douglas. The three behaviors noted in this theory are
What the fuck? Bedwetting? So niggas wet the bed and just turned into Michael Myers. Like, what are we doing, bro? Just learn how to use the bathroom properly. Fire setting, cruelty to animals. Okay, this is a huge one. This is an automatic red flag. If you see anybody, like, dissecting a squirrel just in their neighborhood, bro, lock that nigga up, bro. Instantly. Throw him in and keep the key, bro. Or throw the key, whatever the fuck the saying is. Fire setting. Okay, I know people that, like, you know, just, like, blow shit up. But, like, it's controlled. So that doesn't really... If they're just out here, like, just... Sorry, excuse me. If they're out here just setting fire to, like, random abandoned buildings and, like, it burning down multiple times... Okay, one time it's probably an accident. You know, just fucking around as a kid. One time, okay, a little accident. Second time, it's like... Alright, bro. Chill out. Third time... Nah, that nigga gotta go. Life sentence. Bedwetting... Honestly, bro, anyone past the age of, I'm gonna give it a little grace. Anyone past the age of 7, you feel me? If you 8, bedwetting, lock that nigga up, straight to juvie. Come on, bro. It's too late. We gotta learn at some point.
Persistent bedwetting, and cruelty towards animals. This theory has faced pushback by researchers, but what it hones in on is the question on everyone's mind, which is if we can determine the common factors of serial killers, will we be better able to stop and apprehend serial killers before they go too far?
And they won't stop until
what's too far at that point?
Brains settle down.
Like the first one? I think 1 is too far.
Her life matters. That there should be closure for her. That she should not be psyched.
Bro, and they gotta do this at a trash can because they dumped the body in a trash can in an alley, bro. Somebody's life was taken from them and they got put in a trash can. Like, it's senseless, bro. Like, why?
That the community should rally around.
Her life was more than just being put in a trash can.
The exact location that you know someone lost their life in a struggle. You can say whatever you want about her occupation, but she was another human living life, trying to make money and trying to provide. Yep. And to end up in a garbage can is such a horrific way to go.
Disproportionately, these victims are sex workers or have a history of using illegal drugs.
And that don't matter either, bro. Just because they doing what they gotta do to get by, you feel me? Like, obviously, like, I don't think I would go down that path, you know, even if I was a woman. But she's doing what she's got to do to make money, bro. Everybody got to get some money somehow, some way. I ain't never going to knock nobody hustle. And I don't give them... We're only 5 minutes in it. Let me calm down. I feel like I'm talking a lot. But anyway, yeah, just because they job don't mean they deserve to be slaughtered, bro. That shit is crazy.
We go to great lengths to bring you guys inside scoops on our story. How sketchy would you say this is?
It's up there.
Miguel, sketchy rating?
10.
So is it?
Yeah, why? Yeah, where are we at? Local prostitute.
Yeah, you hear stuff all the time, like this like 30-some-year-old white lady that they found on Lake Cook Road that was like 13 or 16 weeks pregnant when they found her, but she was missing for like 2 days.
Wait, okay, hold on, chat. 14, wait, 13, 12, 4, 3, that's 3, damn. That's the first trimester, right? Trimester is every 3 months. God damn. Shit.
It was 2 weeks before that. Somebody else was found near like 5th and Cicero.
So I think it's a serious
I didn't hear shit she said.
I think they just don't be talking about it like that. People like body parts and stuff coming up. People be finding about a river. That shit is normal. So it's like, how the fuck is that normal?
He's got to be 45 to 65. He's out.
Oh, that nigga riding a bike.
You know, because he knows the neighborhoods, he knows where the whole stroll is, he knows where to dump these girls.
What makes you say for sure city worker?
He understands what neighborhoods he can get away with it in and what neighborhoods he can't. And he knows how to move.
I could see that.
He knows probably when the police changes are, shift changes.
A lot of
But exactly, if you've been doing it this long, like you, nigga, you know. Like, you've been studying. I'm not saying that he's not a city worker, because that city worker theory does make sense. But... yeah, I don't know. If you're 20 years into anything, you know how to do it. You know, front, back, left, right. So
that get snatched up.
Maybe a city worker. That's a good idea.
So what attracts a streetwalker faster? A white guy with some money, an older white man with some money. So it gotta be an older white male.
But he's also targeting girls that are just hooked on shit out here.
We asked this serial
exactly.
expert, and what he says, if you want to know the color of the killer, look at the color of the victim, and almost always it matches.
Our most likely scenario
really
is something like 3 multiple victim killers. 2 are African American and 1 is white.
And how do you know that?
It's what the evidence suggests. One of the victims had DNA at her crime scene that was recovered, and it matched another sexual assault. The victim survived and described a man who had a mustache and apparently a fake Hispanic accent, but was definitely Caucasian.
Have you ever experienced it?
I feel like white people be doing that shit, bro. I feel like when white people try to be low key, like they try to be hiding their identity, they try to act like they try to act like a whole nother race, bro. I feel like that happens more than people talk about, which is crazy. That's hilarious, though. I wish I could do that, bro. Oh my god, I need to learn like a Dominican accent, bro. I think I could get away with it. I think I could do it. Them niggas think I'm Dominican the whole time. I don't speak no Spanish. I gotta start practicing my Dominican accent.
Back up, and then literally he would make you take your shoes off, and it would be like dead winter. Like you'll have no shoes in the middle of dead winter trying to like get away.
So it's a way to keep you under control in the car.
I guess so. You can, yeah, exactly. What? So most lately, the thing that
I think I missed something.
I've been doing is having you get in the back seat, and there's like the child safety lock will be on, so you can't get out.
That's happened to you before?
Yeah.
Is that scary?
Yeah.
What do you do in that situation?
It's like your heart sinks, like you just get that feeling.
You're in the highest risk profession for getting a serial killer.
Right.
What does that make you think?
It's a risk, but sometimes people are like, don't feel like they have a choice, so.
Some people ain't got a choice, bro. I mean, like, you always got a choice, but some people ain't got a choice, you feel me? Like, some people just gotta do what they gotta do.
Do you know anything about this particular killing or this particular victim?
Yeah, I do. Pretty sad story. She was in foster care most of her young life. It's alleged she was sexually abused in foster care. She would come back up here to Chicago, and then she's an 18-year-old on her own, and, you know, she starts in on the streets, you know.
So many victims of sex trafficking, they left home. They were runaways who apparently thought that they had had enough.
It's insane, bro. It's crazy. What the hell? What the hell do you need to text me 5 times for? Like, what could you possibly need to send 5 separate text messages for? Like, let's talk about it, okay? Like, bro. Okay, I can see 2. I might send 2 back to back real quick. Might be You feel me? Why do I need ha? Like, bro, there's never a need. If you ever feel like texting me 5 times in a row, sending me 5 different notifications, I will not only block you, I will off you. Okay, I will off you in your entire lineage. All right. Just for playing dumb, just for playing stupid, just trying to play me like I'm pussy. Because I know you only did it because I said it. You only did it because I said it, which is worse. Only makes it worse. It only takes the disrespect there, bro. So once it's there, then I gotta put you up there with God. Like, bro, come on.
So this was 20 years ago.
Who put that fake lean on the bench?
Yeah, this is much cleaner than it was then. This door was open, and she was actually found in a bag, like a duffel bag, like a laundry bag. Almost impossible. You'd think looking at it, you get a body in there.
Continue to fight for you and stand with you. And we'll do whatever I can to make sure your name is not forgotten.
How do we bridge the gap that people want to work with police, people feel comfortable with police, police are more equipped to do their job? What do you guys think about some of those things?
I don't think there's a disregard for activists such as myself to work with detectives. I do work with detectives and police on
okay, but not everybody is.
If you work with
Like,
detectives and police.
I feel like there's situations, bro. Like this, I'm definitely snitching, bro. I'm like, if you doing like some off the wall crazy shit, I got to, bro. Hell no, because you need to be locked up for being too freaked out. Like, this nigga is beyond, whoever is doing this, whatever group is doing this, like, bro, they're too far gone. We gotta get them up out of here, because then you're a danger to everybody at that point. Like, because there's people who only a danger to a certain, you feel me, like certain people, like it's targeted, like it's like a, you feel me. Now if you're just a danger to everybody, you gotta go, bro. You gotta go. This is not a battle royale, my nigga. I'm not dealing with it.
The fact is, my job is to bring justice. That's what we stand on.
Let's talk about
Sit on Bennett, eh?
perfect hunting grounds for a serial killer to lurk.
Oh my god, imagine being Spider-Man. Look at this shit. Imagine being Spider-Man. Just like jumping off this shit and just swinging around the city. Just flying over everything.
Grounds for a serial killer to lurk.
I wish I was Spider-Man,
Chicago
bro.
has an unacceptably low homicide clearance rate. And for reference,
Was that me?
clearance rate refers to the percentage of criminal cases that are solved.
Ah, we knew that though.
Performance in finding the perp.
I think you're always trying to do your best.
You can get away with anything in Chicago.
To me, and the people I worked with, no life has more or less value than another, because you're always talking
Facts.
to the victim's family, so you're trying to always do the best you can.
Historically, Chicago's homicide solve rate has been concerning. In 2016, the city reported a clearance rate of just 21%, which is much lower than the national average of 60%.
So you telling me 80% of homicides, 80% went unsolved? Bro, I was trolling when I said that. I swear to God, I was trolling when I said you can get away with anything in Chicago. You really can, bro. You really can. Oh my God, this is terrible.
At time. And now,
hold on. Homicide clear and rate 69. Okay, we up there. We above the national average, right? Yeah, we okay. Cool. too.
In other words, 80% of the time, the murderer gets away.
That's what's up.
That is insane.
The cycle keeps getting worse and worse.
Worse and it stands, and then we have another 20, 30 years of these cases are not getting solved because of distrust.
I don't see the Chicago Police Department doing anything really proactive because policemen are just simply afraid that they're going to be prosecuted or thrown on a bus just for trying to do your job.
The cops?
Police investigations in Illinois are awaiting DNA test results. The backlog is huge, and today at a hearing, lawmakers demanded action on 50 unsolved strangulation cases that could be the work of a serial killer.
A serial killer. Chad, did you hear that shit?
Strangulation cases that could be the work of a serial killer. Strangulation cases that could be the work of a serial killer.
What? Okay, this isn't funny. This video is not funny. I'm not supposed to be laughing throughout this video. Why did he do that? Like, bro, okay, you're dead ass. Okay, but he's dead ass at work. I'm making a YouTube video. I can fuck around. This nigga this is his profession, and he said serial killer. Like, you can hear the change in his voice. He really thought that was going to hit, bro. Hell no.
The Chicago Strangler has been able to remain undetected for so long because he operated in a perfect storm. First, his victims. He targets women in poor communities working vulnerable jobs like sex work. Sadly, the people he kills don't seem to generate the same uproar that a brutal murder of a suburban lady would. Next,
okay, why you take G-Maw out though? What did G-Maw do?
Allowing his crimes to blend in better due to the police being overloaded with cases to work. And finally, these neighborhoods are places where police trust is quite low, which leads to a general lack of collaboration of citizens willing to work with police and give them helpful information to help solve.
It really is a perfect storm.
In the comments?
Have you ever been abducted?
Yes.
She already said she was.
So I guess there was like 3.
She got one nail on. Look how.
Alone.
You know what?
Yeah,
Never
they
mind.
brought me back to like this house. I guess they were selling drugs out of because they had like the windows boarded up and a thing on the door or whatever, and literally kept me there. I was there 3 days and just like the guy wouldn't leave, and I just had it like I couldn't leave. Like I think I got McDonald's like one time, so he ended up leaving, and the door guy or person whoever was working the spot, I literally just like threw the board and went flying. He started chasing me. There's like ice. Middle of winter, no shoes, went flying down the alley. There was this car coming down the alley with this lady, and I'm like screaming, like, help me or whatever, and she just like kept going. They don't care.
Oh God, I would have kept going. Hell no, I ain't stopping, bro. I don't care what I see outside, like what the situation looks like. Keep fucking driving, bro. Keep driving, because there's too many people out here. That could have been a setup. Like, they could have both been on it as soon as you stop. Help me, help me, help me. And then you're like, okay, how can I help you? And then, like, she holds on to you. Bro, yeah, nah, all bad. I ain't stopping, bro. Got me fucked up. I'll call the cops for you, though.
Potentially a very painful moment.
That's it.
People, I know when my pop died, I didn't really confront the grief for a long time. And I was challenged by a mentor of mine to journal about it, write it down. And it was a very painful process, but it also was very healing, revisiting the memories. And
I'm a motherfucking G, chat. What time is it?
Of losing somebody.
4, okay.
They're telling us their story because a lot of news outlets have reached out to them and they're talking to us. So I appreciate that. We're gonna go in and visit them, and we'll see you inside.
Damn, somebody just graduated?
I was involved in as far as from the homicide detective input thing, but the impact of the families, as Mike knows, he tells you, and he's taking it to a whole nother level, but all detectives know we have to make those phone calls at 3 o'clock in the morning, and God bless you, never had to make those calls or face-to-face, not even say calls,
I couldn't imagine, bro.
Face-to-face meetings for the most part and stuff, where you have to, give this bad news to people and stuff.
I couldn't imagine. Okay, let me stop.
One of the hardest parts of the job. Can you imagine this young lady, how her life trajectory has changed, not having her mother here since she was 9 years old.
She was 9.
Well, my mother meant the world to me. I love and I really miss my mom. It's more so in the back of my mind because I really don't try to think about it because it's just too painful just knowing that it is someone out there possibly that's responsible for the death of my mom and also 50 other women. I want her to be remembered as a loving, caring, free spirit, very fun to be around person that loves her children.
Why do you think they specifically targeted?
Like, for what, bro? I know she was just minding her business, going about her day. Bro, that's so sad, bro. You took somebody's mom away at 9 years old. For what? Like, what do you gain out of this? Like, what could you possibly gain?
She was just at the wrong place at that time. She was probably stalked and watched. She was a familiar face, and I feel like, you know, they knew her, seen her there before, so it's a possibility. They felt like, you know, she was some type of target, so yeah, I think that's why.
What are the consistencies among the victims that the Chicago Strangler is known for?
Definitely strangulation. They have been known for body parts missing, torsos. On the west side of Chicago, it was in a 2-mile radius.
Cicero?
On the west
Is that
side of
Cicero?
Chicago,
There's a... Never mind.
it was in
There's a Cicero
2-mile radius.
around here somewhere. I don't
On
know.
the south side of Chicago, it could be up to 3 to 4 miles. South side of Chicago is a lot bigger, and we believe the number was a lot higher on the south side of Chicago, because like this guy here either got off the train stop or somebody that was a professional known in the community to get away with something like a teacher or, you know, something of that sort that's been known in the community. That's what gets me when I look at those deaths. So this person is methodical, and any gaps makes me think he was either in jail or the hospital.
Serial killers should never be off the streets. They all should be locked up and the key thrown away. I don't think that there's no help for them. Teeny weeny opponent.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. This might be a hot take. I know some states still have it, but bring back the death penalty, bro. People need to know, hey, we ain't fucking around. You ain't gonna sit in the cell, get free meals, free housing for the rest of your life. No, nigga. You're done. Yeah, buddy. Say goodbye. You're done. But yeah, nationwide, worldwide, bring back the guillotine. chop these niggas' heads off. I ain't gonna lie. In GTA, of course.
In their cranium. And it is not going to go away unless there's some type of surgery that can be performed on those type of people.
Is there
Nah, hell no.
that you think is
Give him a surgery with no anesthesia.
Yes, Darren Dion Vaughn.
Darren Dion Van shocked the nation in 2014 when police arrested him for the murder of Africa Hardy in Hammond, Indiana. But what began as a
Oh my god, chat. Never mind. I'm not going to speak about it right now. Totally inappropriate time.
The case quickly unfolded into something much darker. Van confessed to killing at least 6 more women, leading investigators to his victims' remains in abandoned homes across Gary, Indiana, thereby earning him the nickname of the Gary Strangler. But is it possible that Darren could also be the Chicago Strangler? In his confession, Van hinted that he had been killing for nearly 20 years and his style of killing matches with the MO of the Chicago Strangler. Many experts
It ain't too far away.
Darren could very well be responsible. Because many of the Chicago murders are near the train line, it's easy to imagine Darren boarding the train from Gary, getting out at a Chicago stop on the south and west sides, giving in to his killing impulse, then returning home to Gary. What's more is in his confession interviews with the police, Van claims to have victims across multiple states.
And Darren Vaughn told police in Hammond, Indiana, he's made a lot of mistakes.
4 or 5 in California. How many in North Carolina? 1, because I ain't staying on. Texas, I think there's 2.
Bro, this nigga's lying.
And there's 3 in Minnesota. I'm saying about 7 in Detroit. How many in Chicago? Chicago is a lot.
One of the goals in setting out to do this was to try and solve some of these murders. And so with many of the fingers pointing towards Darren Dion Van, we sent him a letter and we reached out to the Indiana Department of Corrections portal in attempts to reach him. Now we have no idea if the letter that we sent to Wabash Corrections.
I need to call my mom. Maybe she know, bro. Maybe she... Hey, I got you, gang. We'll get you some feedback. I just gotta make that call for you. Hold on.
security.
I'll let you know, Tommy. I got you, gang. Send the email.
A theory of why Darren's claims of killing more women wasn't explored further is that Indiana investigators wanted to lock him away with certainty rather than complicate his case by making it federal. However, experts like Detective Mike Hammond would argue that Darren could not have possibly killed all these women. The Chicago Strangler is thought to have killed till 2018, and Darren, arrested in 2014, was already locked away in prison. And secondly, because of the multitude of DNA
Well, if there's multiple, right?
leading Mike to think that we are dealing with multiple killers. The problem is, with many of the victims being prostitutes, being found with multiple DNA samples is to be expected and just further complicates tracking down the killer.
You had a conversation with Darren Dion Van, who some say is the Chicago Strangler, the one of the guys responsible for most of the bodies.
I could see him being one of
He had
them.
no problem with talking about the girls he killed in Gary, Indiana, which is exactly 40 minutes from here. Gary, Indiana is across the street, basically, right? But
I didn't know it was that close. I know it was close.
So many he can't remember. And to look at this man, this young man in his face.
Bro, he's lying.
Part of the armed services that look like he wouldn't even swat a fly. To tell you he don't know how many people he killed. It's sickening. And it hits me to the gut. I know. We're talking about 51. I know it's more than 85. There's no connection to all 85, but there's still 85 women that's being killed in Chicago.
We first detected him in Gary, Indiana, where he was responsible for most of a cluster of 15 murders of women. And then the algorithm signaled that there was a very similar cluster occurring in Chicago, a much larger cluster. And the Gary, Indiana murders go back to the 90s, but the cluster in Chicago started around 2001. And we think that's when Mr. Vaughn discovered the joys of public transit. We think he took the Chicago Transit Green Line into the city when he had what he called killing urges. Produced a map showing the body recovery sites of these 51. And
See, but how would he know? How would he know the city though? Like, weren't we just talking about that earlier? Like knowing the city like the back of your hand. Like, I get it's only 40 minutes away, bro. But I can't name a city that is 40 minutes away from me. Actually, I can. But I can't... Bro, I don't know. I feel like you have to be there a lot to know the city like that. I don't know, bro. I don't think it's him. I think he might be one of them, but I don't think he's not even a main, like, the main guy.
9 or so.
Yeah, that's a crazy look, though.
He has been killing his whole adult life, and he has a difficult time establishing normal relationships.
Especially if he's one of them, and they catch that one, he'll be like, all right, it was me. I did it. And now you're not looking for the other 2 or 3 or 4 or however many there are. Think it's over. Nah, hell no. Bro, it's not him. He ain't the one you looking for.
Killing urges. In fact, you can see his confession at our website. When he gets
that nigga just tried to plug his website. That's why he that's why he cut it out.
Was living with his
No, that's fine.
brother's family. When he would get killing urges, he had to leave. He couldn't stay in the home and possibly harm members of his own family. So he would leave. He would walk around Gary, Indiana, or he would go further afoot. It was a very random murder. They were grabbed and usually killed close to where their bodies were found. Nothing very sophisticated in these murders, just opportunistic.
How sure are you that Darren Dion Van has claimed lives in Chicago?
Look at him straight in his eye. He's not lying. He killed so many women, he don't know how many. Now, do I think he killed all 51? No.
It would be nice to point the finger at Darren Dion Van, accuse him to be the likely suspect of all the... murders, get some closure and move on. However, it is impossible that Darren did all these murders. There were 5 murders that happened between 2004 and 2005 that he couldn't have done because he was serving time in an Indiana jail. What he did was, in front of police, he threatened to kill his girlfriend by holding a gas can and lighter in one arm while the other arm was around her neck. There are an additional 5 murders from 2009 to 2013 that he couldn't have done because he was serving a 5-year prison sentence in Texas for a brutal sexual.
How does this nigga keep getting out? Like, how have the bodies not been found yet? Was DNA, like, how are they not linking this nigga, bro? Like,
So there are at least 10 murders from this period that Darren could not have done. This further supports Detective Hammond and Thomas Hargrove's theory that there are multiple killers involved, but unfortunately, it also further complicates this deadly mystery.
When was the last time you were contacted by police regarding your mother's death?
I was never contacted. They contacted my grandmother one time, and it was for identification purposes. When I got older, I contacted them, and they didn't even know anything. They barely knew who she was, and said like, "Oh, the case is the file. We delete the files or something like that, or they don't carry the files."
What does that make you think?
They just don't care. Because I don't think it's a complex case. I mean, she was found somewhere where she stayed, where she frequently visited and hung out at. So, I mean, I don't feel like it should have been hard to find out, you know what I'm saying, who done it, or at least, like, yeah, there's some type of information as to what happened.
So some of the comments I've gotten is if all the victims were white ladies that were accountants or middle class, that the murders would already been solved right now. But because a lot of the women are...
he ain't lying. Shit, he is not lying. If they had different jobs, if they looked a little different, they had different names, those cases would be solved. This nigga would not have 50 plus whatever bodies. This nigga would have 1, probably 2. No, they would have got his ass.
Black women, minority women that are working the streets, no one cares, the cops aren't going to bother. What do you feel about that?
Yeah, so in general, Chicago is pretty low on their success rate of solving any kind of murder.
Mm-hmm.
Here it's like 20 or 30%. It's really low. I don't think it's necessarily what color you are. It's just that they know that a lot of those people have like left their homes or whatever. Their families used to them going on binges, missing, you know, so no one will be exactly looking for them right away.
So no one really
Facts.
anyways.
Yeah, and like a lot of people don't have him, so if they were, like, who's gonna know anyway?
You ever thought that your mom was got by the Chicago Strangler?
Probably yes and no. Like, a part of me feel like maybe it could have been somebody she knew, and then a part of me feel like it could have been a serial killer, Chicago Strangler.
So we've heard about the crimes Darren may have committed, but what do we know about who this guy is? Little about his childhood is known other than he grew up in Indiana, and in 1991 he enlisted in the Marine Corps but received an other than honorable discharge after only 2 years in the service. The specific reasons for his discharge have not been publicly disclosed. What we do know about Darren is this:
That nigga was
he has a
some
notable
freak shit.
criminal background. However, there is something potentially disturbing that we uncovered. According to a confidential source, he has been arrested over 75 times.
God damn. How do you, bro, like, why is this nigga out? Or why was he out? How do you get arrested 75 times? Like, how, bro, how does he keep getting out?
Has been redacted. Why? With guys like Jeffrey Dahmer and Ted Bundy, we have enough information about them to make a Netflix series. But when it comes to Darren, there's barely any information out on his past on the internet, and what is documented has been censored. Why?
What were her injuries? Was she shot?
No, she was strangled and just beat up real bad to the point where it damaged her brain severely. She was on life support for 2 years.
Oh my God, bro.
My grandfather decided to pull the plug.
I can't imagine what that's like, going into a room with a family member that you love. They're disfigured, they're beaten up, and having to...
That's sad, bro. What the fuck? I bet it got 3 doors. Okay, mini limbo. Fuck.
Kiana, so does this alley look familiar to you?
Yeah, it does.
And what's going through your head right now?
Just memories and stuff with my mom. These are my last memories with her. We used to stay down here and go to the grocery store across the street.
Okay, again, off topic, probably bad timing. Why the fuck were they squads in there like that? If there's a whole nother, because there's only 2 people back here. Like, I get probably a cameraman, maybe one other person. I guess I could make the car full. But no, the cameraman was up front. Why were they squads in there like that?
So you used to live close by?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess what's running through your guys'?
Guess for the shot, bro.
So I'm looking.
Anything for the shot.
What year?
Clean your camera, fuck nigga.
Oh, 99.
99. So, you know, several time ago. So much of this has changed. I can see now about 10 video cameras. Probably weren't here at the time. There are probably buildings that were here, right, that were multi-unit buildings. So I want to know if I could go back and find out what buildings were there, were they multi-unit buildings, who lived there, and you can do that. It's a lot of work, but it can be done. You know, I'd be really wanting to look at the specifics of where she was discovered exactly.
Chat, I know somebody that can find your address, like find everything about you, your address, your social, everything. Just off of first and last name. Pretty much just off the first name, just last name to be sure. But yeah, that shit's crazy. That shit is insane.
As many feet as I can, and things like that. So this is a tough place because it's pretty desolate.
2 questions. One for each of you is at any given time, how many murders could a homicide detective be looking at once?
Tommy, tat it!
Varies from 13 to
Tommy got a tapping behind his ear. I was about to say, this recording is probably already 50 minutes. I'm going to stop pausing it.
So there is a perception that if you're poor or if you're black, that the police don't care as much about the murder. As a black detective, can you give the other side of the table?
Yeah, well, I get the other side of the table, and some of that is accurate, you know. So I'm not here, you know. I mean, I love the police department, you know. I mean, it's gas, but I tell people all the time, but I'm not a spokesman for the police department. I mean, you know, there's some dog asses on the police department. There's some dog asses at the post office. Why you didn't get your mail on time, you know. That exists in every line of work. The police just seem to be highlighted and spotlighted more and stuff, obviously, and you know,
as it should be.
Reason in some cases.
I mean, does it kind of blow your mind that someone could potentially get away with killing 50, 60, 70 women and not get caught?
Yeah,
that's insane, bro.
It saddens me because it's like, how can you take a job and, you know, say not even care about doing it properly, and especially when it comes to, you know, human life and women.
If you could say a message to the Chicago Police Department, what would you tell them?
I would just tell them, like, if it's possible, you take a second, you know, look, you know, I know you got other things going on and other things that you do, but this is just important.
If you could sit across from the strangler, what would you say to the guy?
Yeah, I would just ask, like, why? Like,
that's what I'm saying, bro. I think that's the most important question. Just why?
Do the person, you know, you feel like the person who did it, you know, do they deserve to die or whatever? And I was telling him,
yes.
No, I don't feel like, you know, they deserve to die.
I don't give a damn. Yes.
You know, I was young back then and stuff like that, but I, you know, now that I'm older, you know, adult, you know, I kind of still feel the same way, you know.
Did listening to detectives talk today change your perception at all?
Yeah, I know they have a hard job to do, but, you know, I just...
But do it. Fuck, that's what you signed up for.
I still hold resentment towards them or whatever because it is my mom, and I feel like they didn't do everything that they could have done to try to solve the case, and I feel like the case wasn't too complex. It was things that I feel like that could have been done that wasn't done, like, and I feel like they didn't care because of race. And
do you think closure would make you feel better?
Yes, closure would definitely make me feel better. It won't bring justice because my mom isn't here, but definitely just knowing you know, what happened and why, you know, it happened and why they did this. Even if they say like, oh, I did it because I was high or something. You know, I'll take that. I'd rather, you know what I'm saying, have, you know what I'm saying, partially something on the plate than nothing at all, you know.
Folks, the reality is there are still many cases, upwards of 50 to 70 women, that have not been solved. And our goal is to bring some closure to these cases. So if you have any connections to the Indiana Department of Corrections or ways of speaking to Darren Dion Van, or no...
Trying to say I'm a fed, my nigga? No, we're going to get you that info, though, Tommy.
About these murders,
yeah, let me,
please reach out to me at Tommy...
Oh, wait.
gmcgee123@gmail.com, because our goal...
Got you. Got it. We got it. Chat, that was that video. I hope, you know, this all gets worked out. I hope dudes or dudettes, whoever it may be, I hope they, you know, get what they deserve. Told you, bring back the guillotine. Shout out the guillotine. Shout out France. But other than that, what y'all think of the video? Make sure you drop a comment. Make sure you like the video. If you listen to me say this right now, go like the video. Yeah, bro, that shit's wild. Like, all jokes aside, bro, that shit is wild. Like, that nigga needs a guillotine. Like, I'm so dead ass. But peace.